Hi, I'm Akanksha from EzeRx. Welcome back to our today's episode of EzeRx Ask the Expert. Today we have none other than the CEO and the founder of EzeRx, Mr. Partho. Hello, sir.
Hi.
Please tell us a brief about your journey. How did you start EzeRx and what was your thought at that point of time?
In the country like India, 75% are the village and the rural population. So most of the people in the rural context, they never gone for a preventive health checkups. And that's the big gap in the healthcare. When I come back from Singapore and was thinking to start at something, then I remember I always think like in my mom's health. So my mom got the heart problem in the age of 37, and she undergone couple of heart surgeries. You will be surprised to know the root cause of this problem is anemia. And when I search and find like this is not my house problem or my family problem, it's a very common problem in India. And in the mission of India's 2020, the first target was to India should become an anemia free India. So then I decide I should focus on this problem because it's a national problem, and that's the way I started EzeRx. And yes, now is 5 years. EzeRx is have solution how to detect anemia, and we are really creating impact.
As you said that your mother has suffered from anemia and she was not aware about that for a long period of time. So what do you think the current healthcare challenges we face in India today also?
Yeah. So it's not my mom. So if I tell anemia, then 2 out of every 3 women in our country having anemia is. And most of the problem today's the expenses regards to the secondary and the tertiary care expenses is very high, and it's a big burden to a family who are basically low and medium income families. You know what's the big problem is? The problem is we believe on the curative healthcare approach instead of the preventive healthcare approach. If a person can go to the nearest health centers or the medical facilities, do the health checkups very regularly, so then he should know like what the problem is upcoming, and that way we can reduce the secondary and the tertiary care expenses. And that's the biggest problem in India now. Government is doing a fantastic job in setting up the facilities into the bottom of the pyramid, but still the people awareness is heavily required to transform the mentality from from curative to preventive, and that's the big challenge.
Very well said, sir. It's always better to prevent than cure. What kind of challenges do you face while breaking the taboo of traditional checkups versus EzeCheck?
Interesting question. So if you see the traits of anemia, so then especially on adolescent girls and the mother, pregnant mother and the lactating mother. So now the question is why you are not able to break the barriers, break the chains? Because we are not specially focused on the school going children or the adolescent girls. So before launching the product, when we are into the market research, traveled very rural places in the district of Odisha and West Bengal. I see like the necessary of doing hemoglobin test they are doing for pregnant mother and the lactating mother because it's a mandate by the government, and it's very crucial reducing the mother and the childbirth rate. So now when I intervene and I ask, I see the fear in their eyes. When a schoolgirl or the adolescent or anyone is coming and giving the hand to prick it to collect the blood, so they are basically fearing it. Number one. Number two is they are also not have a proper kind of awareness. Like if it is low, if it is high, what is going to be happening? What is the preventive actions should be taken? So EzeCheck, introduction of EzeCheck is completely different and have a lot of roadblocks. Number one is it's not taking blood. So in our country, people think like blood test means somebody should draw the blood, it should test it will come as in the A4 page report. So in EzeCheck, it's pretty simple. You just place your finger and the outcome will come. To convincing the people, like screening is very important and it's required to identify the vulnerable people from your clinic, maybe from the camp, maybe from the society. So to convincing them, it's very tough. That was the initial barrier, but I see the scope when I see a school going children, a pregnant mother are giving the hand and telling, okay, please collect the blood. It's very difficult. And after that, taking the blood drop and managing the whole medical waste is not so simple. I remember one incident when I was traveled to Malkangiri district. It's a rural part of Odisha. And I was participating in a camp where people are coming and they are giving the blood. A school children, in a school children group, there are a lot of adolescent girls. They just start crying before, before giving the blood. So I see the fear in their face. And then I see another challenges where lab assistant or the ANMs are taking all the medical waste, putting into one areas, and then sending it for the recycling. So to break the chain from the adolescent girls to the mother, pregnant mother, and the lactating mother, we have to intervene in the age groups. How we can do that? We can aware to the people, like hemoglobin screening awareness is very important, and then also tell to the policymaker and the doctors, yes, blood test is important, but EzeCheck can come as a screening tool to tell you quickly, like who are prone to anemic, who are having severe, mild, and moderate anemia is. In that way, we try to break the barriers, and since last 5 years, we screened almost more than 25 lakhs people in India.
Sir, so what is the differentiating point in EzeCheck, and how was it difficult for you to convince people to switch from traditional method to EzeCheck?
Okay. So first of all, we are not expressing any kind of interest to converting from invasive to the non-invasive division.
Right.
So as I said, like in our country, still we have not differentiate on the curative and the preventive. So there should be a differentiate between a screening and the diagnostics. So EzeCheck is a screening device, and the traditional lab what people have, this is a diagnostic device. So we are not convincing to the people to convert from the traditional to this. We are telling to the people, like, do more screening, do a frequent check, do a check where the blood pricking is or the intervention is not actually required. Like as I said, like school children, adolescent girls, where you can quickly screen a good number of girls quickly or the school children quickly, and then you identify the vulnerable people, and then you refer them to the traditional check. So the key differentiator of EzeCheck is it's a non-invasive, so it's painless and infection-free. It's a IoT enabled. So how many tests you have done, from where you have done, what is the outcome of the intervention is, how many people are having anemia, what are the bifurcation of severe, mild, and moderate, who are the people need a quick attention. You can see it in a quick dashboard. Other is, hence we are not generating the medical waste, so we are basically generating the carbon credits. They need not require any trained manpower, so anyone can quickly run. So it's just connected to the device and the Android, the smartphone. You can quickly connect, and you can quickly run in a camp in a very short span of time, and it will give you the instant result. So instant result always be a big impact factor for a subject where you are conducting the camps or doing some checkups. So these are the key indicators what we feel like EzeCheck have, and it's create a big value into the value chain since last 5 years.
It is really a good contribution to the society, and as you said that it saves time, and you are also contributing to the environment by reducing medical waste. Sir, what is your vision and mission of EzeRx?
Yeah. So if I look back 5 years, then I see like how the EzeRx started, and that time telling someone like it's non-invasive way we can measure hemoglobin is, there are a lot of failure stories, and people say, okay, it's possible. There are a lot of questions in mind. But if I see now, after the journey of 5 years, where we put a lot of time to the research, clinical validation, regulatory compliances, finally deployed to a very good number of organizations, governments, I see today like where we already crossed around 23 lakh screening, and more than 5,000 devices deployed across the country. I can see like a country like India where 140 crore population, and just you put a percentage of 60% for women, then you can get a very big number of the people they need a hemoglobin screening in a very timely manner. So our target is to contributing to the government focus to eradicate anemia from country. We also need that, and we also contribute, especially on the mother and child intervention, because unhealthy mom cannot produce a healthy child. So if a mother have sufficient hemoglobin of the body, and then the child should have it. And you will be surprised to know first 1,000 days of any kid should have sufficient hemoglobin for their cognitive development. If they have, insufficient hemoglobin in the body, then their brain never been going to develop properly. So the EzeRx motto, vision, and mission is to contribute to the innovation, disrupt to the innovation, and reach to the maximum number of people, where we can screen and we can put the right kind of services or the products to the community.
Sir, you have a very good vision and very inspiring story. What is your inspiration behind EzeRx?
There are a lot of inspirational stories in behind the EzeCheck or the EzeRx, how it's transforming EzeCheck from the pilot to the scale. But I'm not an entrepreneur like who started ventures after the college. I did 11 years of my service life to the private companies and then started this venture. So when I took a decision, definitely there are a lot of stories actually inspired me to do something for the society. I met Madam Sudhamurthy, and we got the Infosys Gold Award in the year of 2019. When she told, like, your device is very big, how we are going to impact in the rural people? So it should be very small, and the cost will be very, very less. This is one. There are a lot of inspirational talk and the conversation I had in last 5 years. But really, the inspiration is the people's smile face. When you do the camp, when you deploy in some hospital, when you deploy into some primary health centers, and if I remember my initial days, since morning we go to village, we go to the primary health centers, we told people, okay, this anemia screening is very required. These are the smile faces of one camp to the other camp, one customer to the other customers, are give the inspiration to rethink of the innovation, rethink on the business model, rethink on the strategy, how EzeRx can reach to the millions of people's life.
As we know that there are several similar devices in the market, so according to you, what sets apart EzeCheck from those devices?
So EzeCheck is made in India and made for world. Hence, it's made in India. It's very cost effective. It's very user friendly, and the accuracy, sensitivity, and the specificity of the device is heavily tested across the zones of the country. Now, the innovation it not mean only it's impacting a solution. So the innovation is a real solution when it's very, very affordable to the societies. The other solution you are referring to, I believe it's not so affordable for the country like India and other developing and underdeveloped countries. This is one, and second one is very, very user friendly, and it's having the IoT enablement where a rural patient data can be transferred to a city-based hospital for a quick treatment plan.
Make in India is a really good contribution from your side, sir. I hope it inspires a lot of people out there. How does EzeRx is contributing to social impact?
Yeah, so EzeRx is a for-profit social venture, and the motto, mission, and vision is the social change through the innovative products. So far, we are saving blood because we are not going to take a drop of blood from the human body to measure hemoglobin. So we are saving blood. Our cost is very, very affordable. So we are saving money, and hence we are showing the result instantly. So we are saving the human resource time. So it's saving blood, saving money, saving time, and we are not generating the medical waste. So indirectly we are generating the carbon credits, and which is very, very correlate to the climate change and the social impact. Hence, focusing on the social impact is not only the indicators like blood, money, time, and the medical waste. It also giving a great awareness to the people who are coming to the camps or conducting the test. One awareness can have multiple ripple factors to the society to know how much hemoglobin should required in a body, or pregnant or lactating mother is, and if it is not there, so what the next step. Through our intervention, this message is quickly spreaded out across the verticals in the specific zone areas or the camp areas or the clinics and so. Building right kind of metrics and the outcomes to make a social change or the social impact into the society through a social venture like EzeRx, we are focusing on and we are talking with the key factors and the key peoples in and outside of the organizations. Recently, we onboard our principal social advisor, Mr. Shantiranjan Karar. He is a person having more than 35 years served to the people, not only India, across the globe, and really did a significant impact in the society.
That was a very insightful information, sir. Sir, could you tell what are the notable accomplishments has EzeRx achieved so far?
So the EzeRx started with a huge support from the government of India, especially Department of Science and Technology, Department of Biotechnology, Ministry of Electronics and Telecom, and then Indian Oil Corporation initially supported heavily to build the product and make the success. After building the product, in our journey, we associated with other big organizations like KIT TBI, we associated with Startup Odisha, uh, Startup India, Infosys Foundation. When the product is built, with the support of government of Odisha, we had conducted a clinical validation with large hospital, then ICMR. In the time, we completed the regulatory certifications, which is very, very mandatory for the medical device. And when we are into market, we have a notable names in the different verticals like the pharma, like health insurance, like the governments, the corporate. So really big connects and the success story of one customer to another is bringing one logos and another side of the logos is.
As one of the leading healthcare organizations, what are the future plans of EzeRx?
So as I said, as an organization, in the 5 years, we crossed more than 20 lakhs people screening, more than 5,000 devices deployed across the country, and we started clinical trials in Southeast Asia, Africa, and the Gulf countries. So in upcoming days, we should be heavily dense reach in India, especially on east and north, and the countries like Myanmar, Vietnam, Indonesia, Philippines in the southeast, and Gulf. And we already started in clinical trials in Africa. So this year, focused is South Africa and Southeast Asia. And upcoming days, we are coming with the other products, which is going to create impact in the women and child care.
So now, as we have reached the end of the discussion, but before doing that, I'm going to ask you a very interesting question, very big question actually, because people are very curious to know what's next.
Okay.
So could you please provide some insights about EzeRx upcoming innovation?
In EzeRx, we started a campaign, E starts with her. Through this campaign, in the last couple of months, we realized a lot of problems. Not only hemoglobin, there are other aspects regards to the women and child care. As an organization focusing on women health, we are coming with the other solutions where the imbalance of the hormones, the other imbalance of the other important parameters to be tracked and to be notified to the subjects through their mobile phone. So I believe the upcoming products will be very, very game changing and it will be very, very impactful on the daily life of any women's.
Thank you for the heads up, sir. It was a pleasure talking to you. Stay tuned for watching the part 2 of this episode. Until then, visit our social media platforms to know more. Thank you.